Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Cameron. Albert, we were optimistic coming in. Got one victory, nothing wrong, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get to that next level where you can play not maybe the South Dakota States, but even the Villanovas and such. That's good football.
Yeah, it's really good football, and YSU has me fooled all the time. You know, they talk like they're there. They're not there yet. And if the score was, 21-20, then I'd say, hey, these teams are equal.
Absolutely.
Villanova beat them 45-28, and now Villanova's going to play South Dakota State, and I'll be shocked if it's in reversed. Like South Dakota State beats Villanova 45.
I wouldn't step in.
No, South Dakota State's the class, I think. Young South State, following the game, they jumped ahead. You had hope early, but their defense could not stop them. And when you get 3 unanswered touchdowns and jump ahead 28-10, you're not coming back from that deficit. Good season, making the playoffs, yes. Great season, no, not until they get to the semifinals. When they get to the semifinals,
okay, that was my next question because you played here.
So semifinals are you going to get to? Yeah, because South Dakota State,
Final Four,
North Dakota State, and South Dakota, 3 of the teams are still playing. So I know how good their league is.
Yeah.
So I do grasp that. But they have to, like Southern Illinois got beat. I put Southern Illinois with YSU.
And I would agree on this point. Had they lost to one of those other 3, you wouldn't be as...
I'd be fine with that, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. I get
That's exactly right.
Because if you have 6 in, you're going to have to play one of them pretty quick.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, South Dakota plays North Dakota State coming up this week.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so there are 3 of them still left. Southern Illinois got beat, and Young South State got beat. Good season. Not great season, I would think. Hopefully Coach Phillips and her staff thinks the same way that we need a couple more players in the portal. We need a couple whatever.
Get over, guys.
To get over the hump.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, talking to YSU Hoops, we'll talk. Our buddy and former player there, Billy Clapper.
Right.
Talking to him, he said he heard at YSU. I said, you heard right.
It's all portal.
Very good, absolutely.
Oh no, they brought. It's a whole new team.
Yeah, 14-point win over Robert Morris.
No, that's a tough place to win.
No, I know. I've played there. You're right. Hey, and by the way, they refurbed that place about 4 or 5 years ago. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they haven't matched with the team.
No. The president there too had visions of grandeur in football, and they haven't been realized.
Matched there either.
No. But let's talk about this YSU Hoops team because it looks high-powered.
Yeah, that's a really good team. Went into Robert Morris, as we said, 171-57. But I laughed when I saw that the leading scorers, all 4 of them, were from all 3 of them, were newcomers. We had DJ Burns with 18, Brett Thompson with 17, and Ziggy Reed with 14. Brandon Rush was the 4th one. I watched him play last year. But that is the way to do it in today's world. What can I say? I don't like it, never will like it, but Coach Calhoun is smart. He said, listen.
Yeah, what's my option?
I'm going to go. So what you have to do is raise money. He went out and did that. Pay the players to come in and play and win. And you'll see that place filled up, though, because they love winning.
And Burns with a double-double, 13 bounds. That's old school number. We don't see numbers like that anymore.
Yeah, so YSU, get ready for some winning. You won't recognize the players every year, but you'll recognize the W's on the board because our goal for YSU is to get into the tournament.
Absolutely. That's
still the goal. That's what you want to do.
You thinking this could be the year?
They're the best team.
Okay.
I think they're the best team. Northern Kentucky's always good, but I think they're the best team.
Northern Kentucky played that zone last year. I'm watching the tournament. And those announcers may as well have been blindfolded.
I remember you telling me.
Houston, he just has better players.
Right.
At every level, by the way. They're top 5 in the country.
Right.
If he didn't, he was going home.
He didn't know what to do against it.
Not a clue.
No.
And neither did the announcers. Terrible job of homework, not doing it.
Right.
Terrible job. Antoine Gardner, not a bad...
What a year for Niles.
Player of the year.
Player of the year. Stats proved it, 2,400 yards, rushing 32 touchdowns.
That's a career.
Yeah, it is.
No, that is 32 tutties. That's a career.
It is. 94 tackles on defense also.
Oh, boy.
He'll go out as the leading rusher, over 5,000 yards and 65 TDs. Had 471 yards in one game. I watched film on this, see what he looked like.
What's he got now?
He has everything. I don't know his size. I don't know. I'm talking about watching him run the football, the shake, the power,
jump cut.
He has everything. Yes, and
Is he big time?
I don't know that. I really
Depends
don't.
on the speed.
Speed and size. It all comes out of that. People want to say he's big time until they see big time.
Beanie Wells.
Yes. You understand?
No, I do know. We've been on
It's
the
our
air.
theme.
We've been
It's
on
our
the air a
theme.
long time.
It's our theme.
And we know how great all these guys are because
Yes.
they are.
Yes.
But when you talk Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, that is.
You put a film on those kids. That's what I do in my free time.
Elite.
George watches the games live, and I watch replays and put these kind of things on. Put on highlights of these kids who go to college at Georgia and Ohio State and Penn State. And
Not the same.
no, you think that kid couldn't have played high school last year?
No, because they couldn't have knocked him down.
You're thinking.
No, you wonder how some 17-year-old boy knocked him down.
Yeah, and on the line of scrimmage, it really stands out. They try to block him, and they pick him off the ground and throw him down. Yeah, they're once in a lifetime players at high schools. Mm-hmm. This kid is that kind of player. Now we'll see where he signs and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, our old buddy Bill Boren was there. Remember we went over to
We were there. We were on the sideline.
Beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right, let's talk NCAA football. Championship Saturday. That's what it was. And, we'll talk about the Final Four in a bit. But obviously, an overview. When there's 5 champions in 4 spots, you're going to have this. Now, there was no way around this. If you put Ohio State in Michigan, if you put Alabama in Texas, it's 5 with 4. If they had 8, they could have solved it all.
They were 5. I told George.
He wanted to play in.
I've been saying all along. I have the answer. I don't know why anybody doesn't say it. There's 5 power conferences. That's who makes it. You break 4 and 5. They're going to play a playing game, and then you get it down to 4. Whoever wins that game, you play 1 extra week, and you say you play 1 extra
3 weeks off.
But no one gets left out. No. Florida State's in and say, no, you said you're good enough.
Yeah,
you're going to play Alabama
Saturday.
Yeah, you're going to play them Saturday. We're going to find out if you are.
Yeah.
And then you move on and play.
That's Sluggo football they played. But admit it, between Iowa and the one channel, and them on the other, Woody Hayes was in his glory.
Yeah, that's the truth.
My Lord,
But Iowa really doesn't play that way. So
They just
don't have the talent.
No,
they ran the same offense that I've seen everybody else run. Reverse passes. They just have no speed on the perimeter.
One fast guy bringing kicks back.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the Texas beating on Oak State. Was expected. I saw this. I saw firepower. A guy ran the ball, and I wanted to call you. I didn't know where you were, but I wanted to call you because he took off it. You know how they all look fast.
Yes.
Well, this guy was faster. And the guy says, that's only his 11th carry. Almost fell off the chair.
Yeah.
Where do these guys come from?
Yeah, the recruiting at Texas, and we just talked about it again. Second time we talked about it on the show today. Mm-hmm. The recruiting, their 4th running back with Texas. Would break every record in the state of Ohio. Do you understand? No. I know he would. I mean, Texas doesn't recruit anybody.
No.
That isn't.
Then when they have those whites on, they look faster. I swear to God. It's like Penn State, those dudes with the one number, like they do for the Redskins. You know what I mean?
Dotson.
He looks faster. Johan Dotson.
Yeah.
Now, I got fooled once on Saturday. I'll admit it. They fooled us once.
Who fooled you?
Boise.
Oh, boy, yeah.
They beat the dog out of Vegas.
I didn't realize Boise was that good.
I didn't either.
And they ran the ball down their throat.
They changed quarterbacks. You know what they have it? I didn't realize. They're much more balanced. Yeah. Like they're running, and this coach, they fired the guy about week 8, and it appears
something happened.
They didn't like him. I mean, maybe it's coincidence.
Yeah, something
happened.
Anyhow,
they did.
That was a big win for the boys. They blew them out.
I'll tell you who handled somebody well. I was really impressed. I'm anxious to see the bowl matchups. I haven't studied them all yet, but I will. SMU, Tulane at Tulane is a handful, and they beat them easily. Not by the score. I watched the game.
Their defense is way better, and that's where they haven't been. They've always scored points. Their defense is better this year, and
how about this, Al?
That helps.
How about this, Al? They're coming into the ACC. So we don't want any TV money. That tells you they're all in. No, watch this team.
Methodist money.
Yeah, watch this team.
Methodist
watch
money.
this team. Because when you say, we don't want any of that 35 million TV money, we just want to come in. What's that telling?
Yeah,
The days of the Pony Express might be back.
Yeah.
They said every car in the parking lot was a 280Z.
Yep.
And they didn't care. Absolutely. Troy, one death taxes.
That old trend didn't work.
Taxes and Troy. Yeah, they had beaten them 5 straight. Well, guess what? They didn't tell Troy that.
No.
We usually catch them in a bowl.
They're always good.
I mean, do you think it's
they'll be after that coach.
Being that they're in Alabama, do you think they get a lot of the?
You would think,
think
right?
Nick calls them in and says, "Hey,
Lloyd doesn't have to play him.
hey, Leroy, you're not playing here. Would you like to play for
Troy
or UAB or whomever?" I don't know what his relationship with Bill.
Well, they said Louisiana, which is the capital of talent. And I'm thinking, I looked on their roster, and I bet you they have 10 Louisiana kids too playing. That
Georgia,
Alabama didn't take.
No, absolutely. Can't take them all.
Yeah.
We did say they've been good to us in bowls. The MAC title. Now, I watched it only because there were 2 games. It was easy. Texas on 1, Miami. I watched it closely. You don't see many games like where the one team appears tougher and maybe a little more all in.
Wow.
That's what I saw at Miami.
That's hard to believe.
Man, that guy, I don't know the kind of talent. I know he has some players. There was a kid from Farrell on the team. Pretty dang good.
Hilton was a really good player.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, they looked like they weren't going to be, like, on paper, Toledo had beaten them earlier and was a higher flying machine. Never got off the ground. I was impressed with them, Al. I'm telling you, they're in a bowl. They're a nice dog.
They're a good defensive team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't score a lot.
They're a good defensive
But
team.
they don't have to. Now, Florida State, you can't play without your 2 quarterbacks. I know they're mad, and I get it, and I'd be mad also because they.
Somebody's going to be left out, and I said that's why I should have all 5 conferences in.
Yeah.
I'll tell them the answer, easy answer. Yeah. So because George said, if Alabama got left out, they'd be saying, we're in the SEC, we're left out. If Washington says, we're undefeated.
So just think if there were my idea of 8, you had the 4. You have the 5 conferences, which puts them in.
That answer's fine.
We're going to grab.
As long as you have all 5 conferences.
We're going to grab Ohio State. Who would argue?
Oregon,
with that? Oregon or Georgia.
Yeah, those are the
Let's
teams.
go.
That's the 8 teams.
Let's go.
Yeah, those are the 8 teams.
No, absolutely. But I saw them play. They showed little offense. I mean, you can't. I mean, I know they're mad, but they're.
Without a quarterback, you can't play.
Do you think that? When do you suppose that provision went in about their being able to evaluate them with a player missing? Do you think that's something new, or that was always in there? Because it sure came into play.
Well, they lie, as you say.
Oh no, they lied.
Because Ohio State was down to their 3rd quarterback.
They only lie when their mouth moves. Yeah, you're right. But they put 56 up in that game.
But still, I don't care. If you're down to the quarterback, or you're not down to the quarterback.
That's just.
They'll make up their own rules.
No,
they really do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And I watched that Michigan game, and the truth is, as much as they dominated, if Iowa scored once, they covered the number.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But they can't.
Bama, Michigan, looking forward.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Easy to dislike both programs. So between the success and the Alabama, nobody, if you listen to Feinbaum one day, you can hate Alabama. And
That's why I don't listen to him.
And Harbaugh's just easy target.
Oh, he's so pathetic.
I mean, he is just.
He's just a pathetic human pathetic human being. That's all he is. When you go on and say Iowa has no chance, you might tell your coaches that. You might tell,
Oh, yeah.
But you don't go on TV and say they have no chance because he knows he has.
Yeah.
44. They said 44 seniors.
Yeah.
He has 10 kids going into the first 4 rounds.
10 in the first 4.
Do you think he might?
He might have close to 15.
You might know.
How about this? Though I heard this kid that he's a friend of mine, and he's like a Michigan guy, like Buckeye Bob, and he's with Michigan. He says they have a couple linemen who are getting drafted that have been beaten out by younger kids. That's how
good they are, right?
Wow. Now, how about Washington? I don't think they can make this number high enough. Washington. I went in on it. I saw 64. I went in before it's
Washington, Texas is going to the 70s, huh?
Tell me what you think. Maybe I'm nuts.
Texas defense is good. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Their defense is good.
Okay.
Yes.
You better have pass defense.
Yeah, their defense is really good.
How about with those 3?
That's why the score's like that, because Texas does not give up 40 points a game. You know,
So that's what it is. They've melded those two.
Yes, exactly.
They've melded them, and they said, listen.
And Washington's defense is underrated, too, because they held Oregon down. It isn't like Oregon scored 60 points. We've been scoring everybody.
No. That's a good point.
Yes.
Now, the disappointment with Florida State, Power Conference champ and undefeated. Let me say this. Another feather in their argument is it's never happened before.
Yeah, not only will it ever happen again.
Well, no, there's 12 next year. It can't.
Yeah, but still, you never know what's going to happen to that 13 teams.
Yeah, but you can be undefeated.
I know.
That's the problem. Now, let me ask, when they get to 12, 13's going to be mad. Let's not forget that.
Always.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, it's always going to happen.
We're looking at it.
Wherever you cut it off at.
Yeah.
It happens in NCAA
But there's something about cutting it off. It's like 65 or 68.
It cuts off there, and there's people upset then. That's what I'm saying.
It's when it's 4. Man, oh, man. And you know what? I heard on the way over, a guy was talking and complaining. The guy says, who do you want out? The guy said, Alabama. The guy said, Alabama. So they've won 13. That league's won 13 out of the 18.
And they just beat Georgia, #1 team in the country.
In year out,
On
you've got them, you've got LSU, Auburn's won, Georgia's won a couple. How do you, you know, if it were like a softball tournament or something, they'd put them in the semifinals because.
Well, the answer I said it to John. I told George last night. Just let Vegas put the 4 best teams in.
They have a ball.
They never screw it up.
Nope.
They would say, okay, here's who's favored on neutral field.
Yep.
Here's who's favored on. They would have it all down pat.
Remember last year, Saban didn't make it. And what's the first thing he said? Vegas says we'd be favored over
They
all
would
of them.
be.
And they would have been.
They would have been.
They would have been. That's the truth. Hey, NCAA hoops. I want you to take a nap. Just like lay down for about 5 years. And when you wake up, I'm going to say, okay, Al, here's your quiz. Name 4 of the top 6 teams. Kansas, Arizona, Houston.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky usually. It's just nothing's changed.
But it is changing.
UConn.
I do think it's changed.
UConn.
I do think it's changed. That teams get beat now.
With regularity. Okay. I'm going to run something by you.
Because the portal. The portal has made YSU 1,000 times better team. They could not have even thought of playing those teams in the past. You think YSU's scared to play these teams? They're not scared to play any of them.
They could play with Houston?
No doubt in my mind.
Oh,
no, they played Dayton tough. Dayton lost to Houston by 8. Listen.
No, Dayton's good.
No.
Now, let's say this. The big boys are getting beaten. That's for Kentucky the other day. I thought they lost to Carolina. I saw the thing, Carolina. I said, okay. No, Carolina Wilmington.
Yeah, it's changed completely. Don't go by the names on the thing. NC Wilmington, I guarantee you, they got 3 players from some players last year that are not Wilmington players. They're the best player from St. Joe's.
Explain that. Like when you say you mean not a Wilmington. Normally.
Well, Wilmington, when you were in high school,
yeah,
you were getting nothing but 2 and 3 stars.
Yeah.
That's all you were getting.
And they're good.
But they're not capable of beating Arizona.
You're not beating Kansas.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, they go to Kansas. They don't play. They transfer to NC Wilmington. They were scholarship players at Kansas. They end up in these smaller schools, we call them smaller.
Yeah.
They're loaded.
And you know what else happens?
They're loaded.
You know what else happens? We have to talk about
You don't need 5, George.
Hey,
you don't need 25.
No. That's what makes football so difficult. And here's another thing we have to mention. Getting players from lower levels for the mesh. They said Gannon has jumped off 7-0.
Right.
They have a couple D3 guys tearing it up.
Yeah, the Tipton kid from Geneva is really good.
He's strong. Yeah.
He's really good, yes.
And here's the thing. We remember the 1 year, Hero. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at he's Kentucky. But
yes.
Wasn't the other shooter on that one Michigan team D3?
Oh, yeah. Robinson, he plays Miami right now.
I watch him. Okay, that's what I thought.
There aren't many of those, though, George.
No.
There aren't many. But there's many kids that go to the great teams and end up somewhere else. And you think, I've heard that name before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember the 1 year I saw this guy, and I called my buddy. I said, he's in the portal. You got to get on him. I said, he's as good at Moorhead.
End up at Auburn.
My buddy says,
still playing.
My buddy says, he want me to get him. He says, he's at Auburn.
He's still playing.
I can't even talk to him.
Yeah, he's still
You knew he
playing.
was.
Yeah, Bloom kid. Yeah,
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
Now, I heard this the other day. Very interesting. Guy in the mid-major. Polite, very soft-spoken. And he got a bad...
Merrimack, I saw him.
He got a
He was
bad...
Merrimack.
He got a bad call. And he says, he said, let's address the elephant first. The fouls are situated. And he said, I'm going to tell you, he said, I'm not here to complain, but he was very diplomatic. But he said, this is why there's so many upsets in the tournament. These teams are getting home cooking. Then they get in the tournament and they play a Merrimack and, oh, Jesus.
Referees are pretty equal.
They're not someone's Uncle Joe.
Yes. Yeah, Merrimack fits that. They got all transfers to it. Just as it's, these teams are around and they get in the tournament. Refereeing is big in the tournament, George. You know that. We've had it in high school. I just talked to somebody. I talked to Frank Jesse, who was a really good coach in Ohio. Talked about how in the tournament that if you get a 6A or big school, and the referees only refereed the little guys. They don't see people up on the rim like that. They don't see.
I said George Jr.
You don't see it.
Here's a classic, because it happens all the time at a place like that. They block the guy's shot and knock him down.
Right.
Never touch
No touch him. Then they call
Every
foul.
time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Over the back.
And when we used to get down to Altoona, because you went to Mount Aloysius.
We've both been there.
I did. St. Francis, Altoona,
Yeah.
same way. District 6. What happened? Now, it got better because of our buddy Mick.
Right, he helped a little bit.
And our buddy at McDowell. Because they played all man-to-man. What happened? They had seen zone for 30 years. Well, you won't max it. Get 3 of my refs, he goes. He knew you're going to bump the cutters. You're not going to let guys post up without an arm on them. And consequently, if they don't, Frank Jesse nailed that, by the way.
Yes.
He nailed it. That's exactly, and there are certain plays that happen when you have shot blockers.
No
they
doubt.
don't see shot blocks.
No.
Everything's either a goaltend or a foul.
I remember our boy Nick Canone. You know the story.
Yeah.
When he was at Farrell, they jump over the back, get the ball, and he'd tell the ref, "Hey,
never
that was a good ring." Then he went to Wilmington. All he was yelling was,
Nicky said all of a sudden they were on their back.
Yes.
No, that's right. But the big boys, real quick, then we'll go NFL. The big boys, Kansas,
Big time.
Arizona,
Big time. All portal. All
Houston,
portal.
Purdue.
Yeah. Purdue got beat too. They all got beat though. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a good thing.
They all got beat. So did Ohio.
That's a good thing. Let's look at the NFL. I was on 2 games on Sunday, and I had the one ended up being close at the end. I didn't expect was a stinking New Orleans. Detroit jumped out early, but New Orleans came storming.
New Orleans was right,
The
was
one
right there.
I was on, there's a guy. Now listen, we play these little pools. This guy's never hit one ever. They said to me, give him a game. I said, well, like I know.
You hit it.
Well, no, it was the Browns. I like the Rams.
Oh, you like the Rams?
I don't know.
But that game was down to the wire, too.
I know, it was. But someone
That
will
game
have
was
to
down to
tell
the
me
wire.
he's 100 years old. Is the reason you use him, he knows the system and he's easier to plug in. He's not in your future or
No.
anything.
The reason I watched him play, he was better than anything they put on the field all year.
Absolutely. I thought the same thing.
No, he did not play bad. He threw one bad pass.
Yeah.
The long one down the field. He threw that money on him. He was on the money all day.
On the break,
He was on the money all day.
Okay,
Yeah, he was.
Steelers were humiliated. But let's say, you said something interesting yesterday. I listened.
I'm the only guy that believes that. I believe with all my heart.
I'm coming around.
That the team that overachieved the most in the NFL this year, overachieved by far, is Pittsburgh. I watched them play. You take Watt off that team. He's a great player. They don't have runners who start on other teams. I don't know who would start on the other teams.
Pickett wouldn't, Jesus.
No, Pickens, the wide receiver would. He's one.
Not it. Pickens.
Yeah.
But
There's nobody else on the defensive side of the ball who's going to play offensively. They've overachieved. When I watch them play Arizona, I'm watching thinking, this is not an upset.
There's no difference.
When Murray's playing, Arizona, they're the same teans.
Like I watched yesterday.
Think about it. They beat Green Bay. Green Bay just beat Kansas City. And I watched Green Bay play the same thing. How would Pittsburgh beat them?
They were throwing in the end.
But they beat them.
Matter of fact, as soon as I get home tonight, I'm getting on FanDuel.
For what reason?
Green Bay in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they're making the playoffs. Their schedule says that.
Hey, Al, real quick with that. I look at Kyler Murray, and he was hurt all year. He's only played a couple games. Does Pickett look the same?
No, he's not as good. But once again, it doesn't matter who's quarterbacking them. They have no talent.
The receiver's no good. The other receiver.
Average. He dropped 7 games. Tight end's an average guy.
Fryermuth?
Average at best.
And the runner.
Moore is better than Harris, I'll say that.
Now, the Lions, obviously, the thing people have to watch about the Lions is how crucial the home field will be in the playoffs. You get Dallas out of that stadium that God watches, they're just another team.
It happens a lot of teams.
And Detroit in the dome
lot of teams.
is much tougher. Now, Frisco's the one team I think that could go on the road. You agree with that?
Oh, my gosh. When they have everybody healthy,
okay,
they kill teams.
Now, next week, Dallas-Philly, huge now. Huge. How about Miami when they're playing somebody that is oh, my God, do they put the numbers on?
Yeah, they do.
And it looks like number 10's running loose.
But he is.
Are they covering him?
They're trying. They
just run past
him. 2 guys on him. They still went right by him.
He runs past him.
Yeah.
Agreed. Hey, I got to say, I'm gonna get booed for this one. Mahomes has played some terrible.
Not as good as they have him built to be.
Oh my God! I know he's a nationwide or whatever. He's Mahomie and the headband, and he's cute. He's played some. He throws the ball to the other team.
Yeah, he's not played good this year.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. He's a media darling, though.
Oh yeah.
Watch what you say about him. Absolutely.
That's all you need to be is in this league.
How about Evans at Tampa? 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Always makes big plays, like down the field.
Okay,
down the field.
long
Yeah,
ones.
that's it. Yes.
Okay. I want to say this to the Steeler fans a week and a half out. Minshew's much better than Richardson. You didn't get a break there. All right, here I go. I got to do it. Jim Leland, Hall of Fame. I don't see it.
I know this. I'd have Danny Murtaugh in there before him. Murtaugh has 2 championships.
Okay.
I'm thinking that Leland. I like Leland because he got Bonds. So it was when Leland got he went up my ladder when he lit up Bonds in spring training. But pure championships, he has 1.
Yeah. And that was they ran it, as a
Florida ran a team that year, yes.
Absolutely. NBA rest policy, they've turned it into a joke. They just say something hurts and sit out. You got 21-year-olds sitting out games.
You fans watching, if you want to take my show and talk about NBA basketball, you can take it because I don't follow the NBA at all.
Hey, we got a couple minutes left. It's our miscellaneous. I want to talk about Signetti grabbing the mic.
Oh, jeez.
Making a fool of himself.
Purdue sucks.
And
now while I'm at it, Ohio State and Michigan suck too.
Maybe you ought to play him. You know what I would suggest to him? Beating Slippery Rock when he was at IUP.
I know.
How would that be?
He was 2-4.
Yeah. How about that?
He was 2-4. I just don't understand why you make a fool out of yourself.
What do you gain?
0. Say we're going to be the best we can be. We're going to go out and recruit. We're going to do all of the yes. Oh my.
Hey, real quick, I want to mention this. And our buddy Gene, he's not going to want to hear this. The referee.
What do you mean? What? I told you what's happened. Replay. No, it's not blaming. It's fact that they won't blow the whistle because they know that the replay is going to take care of it.
Twice yesterday, he made what he thought the call was. Both
they don't get it right.
Now, when the supervisor doesn't know what it's going to be, that should not happen.
It happens every Sunday.
All right, we have less than a minute. I want to ask you a question. Straight out. Do Michigan fans care one bit that Harbaugh I had to ask.
That's a joke question. Every team in the country that has their fans, if they said they'd go over that,
rolling over,
then we hear it. We'll take it.
All right, real quick, the portal, 2,000 guys in by the end of today. Hard to believe.
No, it isn't. It's a runaway
because
they're not amateur anymore, George.
No, they're not.
They're getting paid to go someplace.
It's not amateur sport. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.